Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about the 4 most common female genital piercings. So just to clear up some things before we go into the most common, when you are getting a genital piercing and you're a female, a lot of people will call them a clit piercing or a clitoris piercing. You're not actually getting your clit pierced. That is super ridiculous, insanely dangerous, and it can pretty much screw up all your nerves, and I don't know why you'd want to do that. Most places aren't going to do it. They'll turn you away and say, no, that's not a piercing we do, because that is crazy. It's not your clit, it is the hood. It's going to be very hard to show you in this video because I really can't show actual pictures of the piercings, but I can sort of describe them. So to begin with, the Christina piercing, also known as the Venus piercing. Now this piercing is located basically on the pubic mound, so just above where everything starts to happen down there. So it's basically a surface piercing. The Christina can be pierced with either a curved barbell or a Christina bar, which is its own thing. It has its own bar to fit perfectly in the Christina. I've also seen it pierced with staple bars, but this is pretty uncommon and goddamn, it looks painful. It's not a fun experience because the staple sort of goes like that, so it has to go in and you're feeling that like poke up through you the whole time, like just not a fun time. So most commonly though, it's the curved barbell, and that's the easiest one to do because it's pretty similar to like say a navel bar. This piercing is purely aesthetic. It has no like pleasurable attributes. It basically just sits there and adds a little bit of sparkle, but personally I think they're so pretty. The only downside of these ones is that they have a very high rejection rate. So a labia piercing is either your inner or outer labia. You can get both, and you can wear a whole different bunch of jewelry in these ones as well, but they're generally just for decoration. The next piercing that I would like to talk about is the VCH, or the vertical clitoral hood piercing. Now this piercing is probably what most people are talking about when they say the clitoris piercing. So basically it's the hood on top of your clitoris. If you don't know what that looks like, go and have a look on Google or something like that and you'll see that there is like a little hood on top of it. So basically it's going vertical. You're generally getting a curved barbell in this one as well. A lot of people like to get this one because this one leads to having the most sensation because it is sitting directly on your clit. This is normally pierced with nothing less than 12 gauge jewelry, and this is purely because of the cheese cutter effect. And this basically means like cheese cutting like with wire, how it just sort of slides through. If you're putting anything thinner than that into this area, it can pretty much cheese cutter effect pull through. That one can be dangerous if you're using anything thinner because it is such a thin, small, like delicate area. This piercing normally heals pretty quickly because there is a lot of blood flow to this area, so that helps with the healing. Another benefit to having this area pierced is that it shows your partner exactly where your clitoris lay. And now the last piercing today is the horizontal hood piercing. So instead of laying vertically on the clit, it is laying horizontal. So it's going through basically 2 sets of tissue. The jewelry that's worn in this is generally a captive bead ring or a BCR. This piercing can have its ups and downs because it can lead to overstimulation in some rare cases, or in other cases it can be sort of an annoyance. Just because there's a lot of movement in that area, it's more likely that it's going to be more uncomfortable just because it's constantly moving than you having overstimulation and you having orgasms all the time. Like that's pretty rare. That's not really going to happen. In fact, a lot of people say that's what they wanted it for and it didn't work out like that. Most of these piercings have about an 8-week healing period. Obviously it changes for each one, but that's generally about the time. They can be a little bit longer than that depending on your body. The female genital piercings definitely heal a lot quicker than the male ones do. So I hope you learned a little bit today and you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do below and give me a like as well. I'll hope to see you back here soon.